If you are trying to figure out how to stop overthinking and find inner peace, you're not alone. We absolutely love to overcomplicate our lives. If you look around today, finding inner peace has somehow become an exhausting full-time job. We have 10-step morning routines. We buy expensive planners to optimize our hours. We listen to 5 different podcasts on how to hack our brains, manifest our dreams, and become the ultimate version of ourselves. We treat enlightenment like it's a master's degree we have to study endlessly for, located in some distant, mystical future. But what if the profound peace you are endlessly searching for isn't hidden on top of a Himalayan mountain? What if it's hiding right inside your kitchen sink? Welcome back to the Inner Bloom, your quiet corner on the internet for mindfulness, ancient wisdom, and inner peace. Today, we are stripping away all the fluff, all the modern self-help noise, and returning to the absolute basics. We are going to explore one of the most famous Zen stories ever recorded. It is beautifully anticlimactic, ruthlessly simple, and it has the power to completely rewire how you live your daily life. Take a slow, deep breath with me. Let go of your endless to-do list, and let's travel back in time to meet a master who knew the real secret of the universe. In ancient China, during the Tang Dynasty, there lived a legendary Zen master named Zhao Zhou, often known in Zen literature as Master Joshu. Master Joshu was renowned throughout the empire. He wasn't known for performing miracles or giving long, complicated philosophical lectures. Instead, he was famous for his razor-sharp, direct approach. He had a way of cutting through the illusions of the mind with just a few simple words. One crisp, cold morning, a young, eager monk arrived at Joshu's monastery. This young monk had traveled a great distance. His head was filled with grand ideas about spirituality. He had read the sacred texts, he had memorized the sutras, and he was absolutely starving for some profound, mystical revelation. He wanted the secret code to the universe. He approached Master Joshu, bowed deeply with immense reverence, and asked his burning question. "Venerable Master," he said, "I have just entered the monastery. I am ready to learn. Please, I beg of you, teach me the ultimate truth of Zen. Show me the path to enlightenment." The young monk held his breath, waiting for a golden piece of wisdom. He expected Master Joshu to speak of the cosmos, of the illusion of the ego, or to assign him a complex, decades-long meditation practice. Master Joshu looked at the young monk. His eyes were calm, clear, and completely ordinary. "Have you eaten your morning porridge?" Joshu asked. The young monk blinked, clearly confused. This wasn't a philosophical question, but wanting to be obedient, he answered, "Yes, Master. I have eaten my porridge." Joshu nodded slightly. "Then," he said, "go wash your bowl." According to the ancient records, in the exact moment those words were spoken, "Go wash your bowl," the young monk's mind suddenly snapped wide open. All his complex theories, all his desperate searching, all his spiritual ego dissolved into thin air. He was instantly awakened. He understood the very essence of Zen. If you are hearing this for the first time, you might be feeling exactly like that young monk before his awakening. You might be thinking, wait, that's it? Go wash your bowl. Where is the magic? Where is the profound life lesson? But let's look closer. Let's look at how we live our modern lives. We are a society of people who are never actually where we are. We are entirely disconnected from the present moment. Think about your average morning. You're eating your breakfast, but your mind is not tasting the food. Your mind is already at the office, arguing with a coworker or planning what you will say in a meeting 3 hours from now. When you are driving your car, you aren't really driving. You are listening to the news and stressing about the economy. And when you finally wash the dishes at the end of the day, you aren't just washing dishes. You have a podcast playing, a YouTube video propped up, and you are mentally rushing to finish the chore so you can finally sit down and relax. We treat the ordinary, mundane moments of our lives as annoying obstacles that we have to rush through to get to the good stuff. We believe that true happiness is located somewhere in the future. Once I finish this project, then I'll be peaceful. Once I go on vacation, then I'll live in the moment. But Master Joshu's wisdom completely shatters that illusion. Have you eaten your porridge? Then go wash your bowl. Zen is not about escaping reality to find some alternate peaceful dimension. Zen is about returning to the reality right in front of you. It is the practice of radical simplicity. This is the true secret to living in the present moment. The young monk suddenly understood that Zen isn't found in complex philosophies or grand theories. And honestly, it isn't even about trying to force some intense, spectacular focus onto what you are doing. It is much more natural than that. It is simply this: when you eat, just eat. When you wash the bowl, just wash the bowl. In that exact moment, when the overthinking stops, when the endless stream of thoughts fades away, the mind becomes completely still. You return to your true self. In Buddhist philosophy, this is often described as the state of no self or emptiness. But don't let those words confuse you. It simply means that for a beautiful, quiet moment, the heavy burden of you, your ego, your past, your anxieties disappears. The boundary between you and the world completely dissolves. It is a profound merging of yourself with the universe, anchoring you perfectly in that exact space and time. You are no longer a stressed person washing a bowl. The separation vanishes. There is only the water, the bowl, and the pure, quiet peace of simply being alive. How do we bring this profound peace into our messy modern lives? It begins with understanding that this ancient story is the ultimate antidote to our modern anxiety. Anxiety cannot survive in the present moment. It thrives entirely in the future. It lives in the what-ifs, the endless planning, and the complicated scenarios our brains invent. But you cannot be anxious if your mind is completely anchored in the act of washing a bowl. You cannot be overwhelmed if you are fully present while folding a warm shirt, feeling the texture of the fabric, or taking a slow, intentional sip of water. Life is not a complex puzzle that you need to solve. It is simply a series of small, ordinary moments unfolding quietly, one after the other. We suffer because our minds are like internet browsers with a H100O pen tabs. We eat, but we rush to the next task, leaving the bowl dirty. We read a stressful email, leave it unresolved, and escape to social media. We carry the weight of yesterday and the fear of tomorrow all at once. Our minds are cluttered with unwashed bowls. The secret to reclaiming your inner peace is to simply close the loops. Do one thing, finish it completely, wash the bowl, and only then step quietly into the next moment. As we bring this session to a close, take a look at your own life right now. What is the bowl that needs washing? Is it an actual pile of laundry waiting in the corner of your room? Is it a heavy conversation you've been avoiding? Or is it simply the act of going to sleep, closing your eyes fully and deeply without scrolling on your phone one last time? Whatever it is, I invite you to do it with your whole heart. Drop the grand theories. Drop the need to figure everything out. Just wash your bowl. If this quiet space brought you a sense of clarity today, please help the inner bloom grow. Consider subscribing, gently hitting the like button, and sharing this audio with a friend who might be overcomplicating their life right now. And before you go, let me know in the comments below. What simple, everyday task brings you the most peace when you do it mindfully? Thank you for spending your precious time with me. Breathe deeply, return to the present, and I will see you in the next story.